2K Cup South Island. Here we go, green flag at the back and the red lights are out. Good start there from the third South Island car, Greg Barclay charging his way through the middle of 3.
Yeah, everybody got away there, clean start, so that's a good run here for Abbott Insurance for the first time.
Seems to be Greg Mitchell at the front of the field, so no doubt one of the regular top contenders here at Euromark Motorsport Park leading the field right now, and it is Carl Beardsley in second spot. You go back to, we got one turned around down at the link kink up over the mound there slightly.
Yeah, going to recover that one pretty well, but going to drop a fair way back here as he waits for the field to go on by. Does everybody get through Euromark cleanly? It looks to be so here on the first lap. But Greg Mitchell under all sorts of pressure here early on as they make their way through the infield section with Carl Beardsley right in behind there. And then we go back to Greg Barclay, who got that great start in the MR2. So this field nice and close here in the first of 8 laps.
A little bit of a lock-up from one of the midfield guys down into the carousel there. So seems like a little bit antsy through that mid-pack right now. You can just see one of those cars, that's car 360, Oscar Tassam, looking like he was trying to make a move up the inside through one of those cars. And yeah, you mentioned it. Greg Mitchell was under a bit of pressure, but now he's started to pull a bit of a gap over Carl Beardsley as they go down the straight one more time. Barclay in the third spot.
Great starter class to get into motor racing if you're looking to find your way out onto the track. Certainly the 2K Cup field is really good. A lot of these cars, as you can see, all road registered.
Yep.
And you can drive them around during the weekday and then bring them out and jump into the series. So, and as you can see, just by the field size, the 2K Cup continues to grow. We see a couple of 2 wide there further in the midfield, making their way down to Euromark side by side. Looks like a couple of Toyota Corollas, Toyota Levins down there.
Carl Storm and Fred Hansford, I think those two are scrapping it out. So they go down into Euromark now, back into Fulton Hogan. And that's one of the things you've got to be careful of, Nathan, especially through certain parts of the track, especially through that link kink. It really tightens up if you're not careful. So good on those two for managing to keep it too wide and keeping it nice and clean through there as well.
Look at the front of the field here. We've got a big gaggle of cars. Michael Gunstone's brought himself into this. He's managed to get past Greg Beardsley and he's now looking to have a crack here at Carl Beardsley, getting past Greg Barclay there in the MR2. And Connolly Webley, he's there as well. There's a big scrap for the top 6 or 7 positions. Very tight racing here.
Yeah, things are going to get very antsy as these laps start to wind down. Greg Mitchell seems just to have that better corner exit, as does Carl Beardsley, and they seem to pull away down those straights, but it's those nimble Toyota Corollas and Honda Integras that seem to have the advantage through the corners, and that's where you see that battle start to close up as Beardsley looks up the inside of Mitchell down at Abbott Insurance. Beardsley still looking around for that first spot, but Mitchell still wheel to wheel with him. They go down the West Coast straight and into the link kink.
Who's going to back out first here at the link kink? They're going to try and go side by side through the corner. That is well done. And they are still arguing wheel to wheel down into Euromark. Carl Beardsley, he's got the inside line, so he has made that pass, and Michael Gunstone says, I want a piece of the action here too, boys.
Good racing from those front two, and that's going to really draw Gunstone and Barclay into it. And we've got one around, that's Tim Yellowleaves down at the link kink. So not too sure what happened there, but Yellowleaves, a ex-TQ midget driver, finding the limits of that Honda Integra. Down into Parks. This is coming up here with looks like Gunstone looking up the inside of Greg Mitchell as they go down into Parks.
Side by side, wheel to wheel action. This is what we love here from Digital Fusion 2K Cup South Island.
Gunstone going to try the switcheroo as they go down the shorter straight and then into the CMG motorcycle sweeper. Mitchell just seems to pull that slight gap on corner exit using that outside line for his advantage. Barclay all over the back of Gunstone as well as they go down the main straight once again.
And Oakley West as well, right on the back of this pack too, and he is the quickest lap out there right now as they complete here lap number 3. We've got 5 to go.
Conley Webley looking up the inside of Greg Barclay now, so Webley looking for that 4th spot down into Abbott Insurance. It's Carl Beardsley with the overall lead, then you go back to Greg Mitchell, then it's going to be Michael Gunstone. Greg Barclay being absolutely hounded by Conley Webley now as they go down into the link kink. Starting to space themselves out slightly.
Bryce Colbeck just a little bit further back in this, just behind that group of cars from 2nd to 6th. He's just put himself on the back of this little pack.
Just looking at Tim Yellowlees as he went past our commentary box there, Nathan, he's got no rear bumper, so it looks like maybe it's been tagged on the rear and that's stripped that entire rear bumper off.
I think I can see it just on the exit of the link kink on the inside.
Yeah, I see
there.
what you mean.
Yeah, bit of panel damage, but nothing too major. So, of course, we've been talking about the front of the field. As I said, Bryce Colbeck there in 7th, Alex Sprague in 8th, Gav Thompson in 9th, Scotty James in 10th, Farron Poulter in 11th, Dean Frew in 12th. And these guys are just starting to line themselves up, line astern here. Greg Barclay just having a wee nose there at Michael Gunstone through the exit of the Parks. He's found himself on the outside as they head down towards the CMG Motorcycles sweeper, and that's the battle for 3rd position.
He's going to lose out through mid-corner, but he's really going to get that drive on corner exit. So keep your eye on Greg Barclay here. We're looking at a Honda Torneo versus a Toyota MR2 going down this main straight right now. Oh, this is neck and neck here, Nathan.
Yeah.
Conley Webley going to try and get involved with this as well. Maybe making it 3 wide. No, sensibly backs out of that.
Yeah, he's just gonna bide his time, I think, and just wait for the guys in front to make a mistake. But you're dealing with the current class South Island champion and 3rd in class, so those guys will be pretty hard pressed to get by. As another couple there on the entry to the link kink, just backing out of it.
Yeah, Webley looks like he went off slightly onto the grass, and that's invited Oakley West to move up that 1 extra place. Of course, well, he said he held the fastest lap. That's no longer. It's now taken down by Carl Beardsley, 147.3. And as we have a look at the scrap for 2nd spot with Gunstone going all the way around the outside of Greg Mitchell through Fulton Hogan, now back down into the carousel.
He's on the wrong side though. He finds himself here on the outside, so he's going to get hung out to dry potentially.
Yeah, but then if he can hold it through 2 wide down to the Parks S's, he'll have the inside for those S's. So he's just got to try and navigate that clearly. And Barclay all over the back of him as well, as is Oakley West. So this scrap really intensifying. It's just really allowing Carl Beardsley to pull away here, Nathan.
Yep, nothing but open air and big gap either side of you. That's what you want there as a race leader. The guys scrapping behind you, and you can just continue to just stretch those legs as we're over half race distance. We've got 4 to go. Make that 3 to go now as Carl Beardsley crosses the line. But look at this gaggle of cars. They're all a line astern, starting to go 2, make it 3 wide and behind there. They're just trying to sort themselves out for that left-hand kink before they get into Abbott.
Yeah, so Beardsley from Mitchell, then you go back 2 wide between Barclay and Gunstone. Then it's Conley Webley. So Oakley West, I think, is getting involved in that battle as well.
Yeah, he's dropped a spot now behind
Alex Sprague.
Yeah, the 24 red racing car there has managed to work his way up another position. Bryce Colbeck has dropped back 1 spot there as they that group of, I want to say, in 10 or so cars there going all the way through.
Tell you what, Nathan, Greg Barclay is really not giving up on Michael Gunstone here. Those two are going wheel to wheel at every corner imaginable. And here he goes again, sending up the inside. Oh, he's taking a real excursion off.
Careful on the re-entry. That was a big one.
Oh, that was very lucky. That opens the door right up for Michael Gunstone as he goes around the outside of Greg Mitchell. He's not quite got it done. Still trying to hold it on the outside. Sneaking up the inside through Parks now.
Yeah, he's got the inside run. Oh, one of the cars there just going for a wee excursion off the road, and that battle there for second is very, very tight.
So Mitchell from Gunstone, then Barclay, then you go back to Webley, then it is going to be Alex Sprague. You can take a little gap back over to Oakley West. Look at this, Scrap going to the line. 2 laps to go.
I was going to say it's far from over. The 56 there, Gav Thompson in the blue machine there, the Honda CRX has got through. He's battling away there. It's a big group of cars all fighting for the same piece of real estate.
Yeah, so Mitchell's still holding on right now. The gap between Beardsley and Mitchell's 8 seconds. That just shows you how much these guys are battling.
I was just going to say too, lap time wise, that is helping Carl Beardsley. He's in the 147s, and then you go back to the scrapping group there through Euromark, and they're in the 1:50s. So there's nearly 3 seconds that they are losing by fighting, and Michael Gunstone may finally prevail here on Greg Mitchell and through to the second spot. Greg Mitchell going to try and hold off Greg Barclay and the chasing pack there and that group, but I don't think Michael Gunstone is going to have enough to get to Carl Beardsley with only a lap and a half to go.
No, definitely not. It's going to be a tricky race to the flag. Got to have your wits about you for sure. Gunstone's starting to pull a gap now. So Mitchell in that 3rd spot, Gunstone in that 2nd spot, Webley looking up the inside of Barclay. Not quite going to work for him. You've got a train of cars from Mitchell all the way down to, I believe, that is Anthony Kay. So that's a pretty big pack of cars there.
And look at Conley Webley on the inside there of Greg Barclay. As the last lap board has come out, 1 to go.
Yeah, Carl Beardsley got 1 more lap to go before he can secure this win up here for the Digital Fusion 2K Cup South Island.
The 12 car is on the end of that, and that's Fred Hansen. So 12th up to 2nd, so 10 cars fighting out, and someone went off there, a bit of dust on the exit of Habitat Insurance corner, and that might have been Alex Sprague because he has lost a whole heap of positions and potentially going to lose a couple more through the exit of the link kink.
Yeah, he got away with going any further onto the kitty litter, but for sure going to drop a bunch of places now, being absolutely swamped as they go down into Euromark. So Gunstone currently in the 2nd spot, then Mitchell, then it is Webley, then it is Barclay, then you go back to Oakley West and Gav Thompson. Pretty intense battling through that midfield. Barclay still going at Conley Webley. So Greg Barclay, really one of those attacking merchants in this class here, Nathan. He is not afraid to throw some elbows out.
No, but it's been pretty clean racing though for
absolutely
Digital Fusion 2K Cup South Island, and the amount of cars we've seen go wheel to wheel, side by side, 2 wide in the corners as around the CMG motorcycle sweeper for the final time.
Barclay's gone off on the exit of Park, so he's going to lose that position to Webley. Check the flag.
Carl Beardsley takes victory in the BMW. He will pick up the win for Digital Fusion 2K Cup South Island, but the scraps aren't over. Michael Gunstone, he will grab 2nd, but it's a fight for the rest of the field, Josh, as they come through.
Yep, so Greg Mitchell comes home 3rd. Then you go back to Conley Webley in 4th. Greg Barclay, after that, off on the exit of Parks, manages to solidify at 5th place.